ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host Undersea. Right over here, it's the expensive princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Expensive? Why am I expensive?
I don't know, just you are, I assume.
No.
You got,
I
you
thought
got,
you could make a joke about me being priceless. There we go. I guess I
you
have
got
a
those,
cost.
you got those champagne and caviar tastes. It's what it is.
Uh, yeah, if champagne is like Sprite and like caviar is like candy, jeepers. It is an interesting day today, my friend. I had a nice day back at the gym. I took a couple of days off because I was exhausted from last week's wrestling excursions. My social battery was just at negative 100. Um, had a leg day today. Saw a friend of mine at the gym who I haven't seen for a long time. Got a nice chat with him. Heard some feedback from the Top Talent Show from a few people who attended. Really had a good time with that main event.
Hmm.
What a day. Been fun. My lips are burning right now because I think the lip balm that I put on has mint in it. That feels phenomenal. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Work my first day in the this is my third day at my job, but the first day doing the other job that I do, which is my third Tuesday to Friday job, and then at the job I work at, and then I have the other job I've been doing for the last couple of days at on Saturdays. So I was good crew I'm working with, good place to work at. I'm very happy. It's
Yay.
tough. I'm tired. I'm very red as I've been out in the sun all day, and I'll be very red going forward. But I have a hat, so hopefully not going to be too red. But
Hopefully not too red yet. SPF, my friend.
I wasn't using my big wide brim hat, but I just using my ball cap today, so my neck feels a little stingy. Let's say that.
Get you some aloe vera stuff before it sells out in the summer. Put it in the
Oh,
fridge so it's extra cool.
I got some upstairs in the bathroom, so
Put it in the fridge. It'll be really, really nice.
yeah, yeah. But what was really good over the last few days, we got to watch lots of professional wrestling over the last while. But some of the best wrestling was the best of the Super Juniors, and we're here to cover
Yeah.
the show on May 11th and May 13th, which had 10 Super Junior matches per show, like all 20 people in the Super Juniors. So and going forward, we're going to follow the same thing as we're doing here. We're each going to pick a match on the night, and we're going to and we're going to highlight those matches. And
Yes.
then everything else, we're just going to give you that. We're going to go through everything, but we're just going to give you the finishes, maybe a quick highlight, and that's it. And we're gonna be big bang boom right through all those matches. So we're gonna
Big
go
bang boom.
kind of back to the old style when we started this show. That's what we were doing when we
Mhm.
first started with the G1 climax and the
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's
So
get into it, my friend. We got a
and
lot to talk about.
so before we do that, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys. We appreciate you all so much for showing up here, watching with us. We really do appreciate it. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll earn it every time we drop a new video. And yeah,
Ding dong.
hello. And don't forget to share to all the crazy people you know.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to us in audio form, or if you are listening in audio form, go to sundaysmanagement.com to hear the audio for all our shows, all the Japanese coverage shows over there. Sundaysmanagement.com, you can get the RSS feeds from there for the free feed, or if you want to support them for only $4 American per month, you can sign up over on Patreon at patreon.com/SNME So lots of great content there too. More than just us, there's lots of great shows over there covering everything.
Everything.
Everything. Let's get into it. Let's talk Best of Super Juniors because that's what you're here for. We're
Yes.
kicking it off. Ooh, I have the wrong notes up, though. There we go. Kick it off. Best of Super Juniors B block match. Francesco Akira versus DDT's Dragon Dia. I got to highlight the gear. Phenomenal. That pink and silver. Love it. In the end,
Mhm.
Akira dodges the DDT and hits a Spanish fly. He follows with speed fire, hits the fireballs, double knees for the win. So Akira getting the first win on the first night.
I didn't know this about Drigandilla. He comes in on a skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, not like psychopathic like Darby Allin. He's like one of the cool kids from the 90s. These high tops and his pink pants. They're fun. Akira also sporting a new look, fun leather jacket, nice new gear. Looks very, very nice, very professional, very United Empire. I like it. Last
Mm-hmm.
thing I wanted to say, there was a step up Enziguri moonsault combo that Dia did on Francesco Akira. That was just
Mm-hmm.
so good. Great
Yeah.
opener.
Again, wonderful way to open the show. Give us again
hmm
two of the fastest guys in the best of
Yeah.
juniors. There's a lot of fast guys, but Akira is insanely fast, and Dragon Dia is insanely fast. That as we've
hmm
found out.
hmm
We move
Yes.
on to the second match. It is A block. Bushi versus Pro Wrestling Noah's GHC National Champion, which is a heavyweight title, which Chris Charlton did make sure to say Hayata.
Yes.
Bushi's entrance mask was fire tonight. I love that
Yeah.
he pulled this piece off of the left eye, and it's got a
hmm
light like blinking in it. It was really
hmm
cool. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
and it was purple and white, so a Melball.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't want to interrupt you there. Yeah. His Bushi spares no expense with his masks. He's always got a really, really nice new fresh mask. I think I saw four different Bushis in the entrance for this one. Yeah, two sitting next to each other. And then there was one that you remember his open style one, sort of
Mm-hmm.
like how Starlight Kid had hers. There's another one of those, and then
Mm-hmm.
a black and silver one.
Yeah, again, I love me some Bushi. He's so good.
Yeah.
But in the end of
Bushy,
this match, in the end of the Bushy, Bushy,
bushy,
Bushy. End of
bushy.
this match though comes. We get a jumping Insiguri from Hayata, follows it up with a cross arm DDT, but only gets through. So he picks him up, hits the Shiomi impact, which is an impact elevated DDT the Show Me Impact, which is an elevated DDT, and Hayata gets the win in what was a really good match.
Yes. Bushy put up a good fight. Um, and two notes I have on this. The first one, yay, we got spit again.
Mm-hmm.
Bushi is able to spit his wata. Makes me happy. Especially considering TJP has been like spitting for the last couple months.
Mm.
Um, but then also Bushi's topes. They're just so good. He just is a rocket when going through those ropes. So good. That's all
Mm.
I got on this guy.
Yeah, his suicide dive is
So
insane.
good. So
Yeah,
good.
so good. So we move on to my pick, or Mel's pick to win this tournament. Robbie Eagles taking on Pro Wrestling Noah and GCW star Ninja Mack. Eagles coming up with this really cool belt, which I found out was the soul of PWA Championship from Pro Wrestling Australia. I really liked it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I heard PWA and I was eating and I just kind of shot my head up like, what?
I
Oh,
know.
it's in Australia. It's not us. Yeah. Take us into it, my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, anytime I hear someone talk about PWA, I think it's all I can think is, oh, it's Alberta Wrestling.
Mhm.
um, yeah, I just have this. There's this really cool cartwheel spinning elbow drop that Ninja Mac did and got a 2 count. It was just like this cartwheel into into a spin and dropping an elbow. It looked really cool. This guy's got some
Mhm.
crazy cool offense, man.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
the end of the match, though, each man's avoiding the other's moves. They're doing reversals on each other. Then they get into this multiple pin exchange, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and for a good like minute. And then Mac just gets him in a pin and just stands up on him and stacks him down and gets the
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. And Ninja Mac pins Robbie Eagles.
It's a hiccup. It's a
Yeah.
hiccup. Um, Not a great way to start off the tournament, but I have hope. I have hope.
Hmm.
Um, The only thing that I have on this one was there was at one point where Robbie did a really amazing tope con hilo, and then he just landed and just kinda sauntered off down the aisle. I love the confidence that
Hmm.
he just emulates wherever he goes. He's such a joy, positive wrestler to watch. It's like all I got on this guy.
Yeah, and I think the biggest positive for me on these first two shows, outside of a couple matches towards the end of each show, everything was under 10 minutes for the majority of the cards.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
or around 10 minutes. I think it really
Ish, yeah.
keeps a good flow to the show. The main events, yeah, give me longer in those like top three or four
Yeah, yeah.
matches, but these lower
Mhm.
end ones, yeah, I like these shorter timings.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So we move on to my pick, and I'm picking a Yoshinobu Kanemaru match. But man, yes, there is some cheating in this match. But god damn, was this a good match? Kosei Fujita out wearing these really cool new pants of his that have like fire on them.
Yes.
Oh, like
So
this.
cute.
It's this whole it's this evolution into the Japanese young punk that his
Mhm,
moniker is. That I think is absolutely phenomenal, and he's
mhm.
evolving everything. He's just looking so good. Um,
Yes.
Kanemaru attacking immediately, taking it to the floor. He runs him into the chairs. Kanemaru sweeps Fujita on the apron, slams his knee. He gets up onto the apron with him, takes the knee as if he's going to slam the apron, and then pulls him off and he brings it down, slamming it onto the floor. Looked just rough. Um,
Mhm,
he continues to work over the knee throughout the match. Fujita does get fight back with that beautiful flying kick of his. Uh, Kanemaru ends up throwing the ref into Fujita as he was going for his springboard attack. He threw him into the ropes at Fujita, and Fujita came crashing down. Um,
mhm,
Fujita does get the springboard drop kicks, stopping a Centauri surprise that went everywhere in the air. Just kicking that Centauri surprise out of him. And he gets a 2 count. Kanemaru attacks the knee again, applies the figure four, but Fujita does make it to the bottom rope. Kanemaru grabs the ref on when Fujita's going for the rolling chaos theory, but stopping it. But then he gets the bottle, but the ref takes it away. Kanemaru mule kicks Fujita in the knee, and he goes running off the ropes. But then he gets popped up. Fujita catches him, hits a sweet German. Um, then he follows up with his new finisher, the abandoned hope, which is a suplex into a cutter, and he
mhm.
gets the win. Mm.
I somehow knew that this would be your pick just for how good this match was.
Hmm.
I don't have a whole ton to add to this one. Beside like I also really really like that new gear. It kind of gave me like a little bit of Julia vibes, where like the pants were baggier and then tucked into the top of the boot, and then he had like a couple little we'll call them thigh flaps, just kind
Hmm.
of on the side there that had some logoing on them. Really, really sharp new gear. I really, really like it. And the arm things too. When he first came out, I was like, he looks like a young Seema.
Hmm. Yeah,
Remember Seema?
very much so. Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I would agree with you there. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, as soon as he came out, I'm like, oh my God, he looks like Seema from the last time we saw him with Lindemann. Broke my heart. I miss seeing him. Um, Kanemaru always has a tendency to work towards that figure four. He's kind of like I don't want to say a broken record because he does do this in every match, but he does it in a very different way to each time depending on who he's facing. So he manages to keep it interesting. What I did find even more interesting about this was that he didn't need House of Torture to do any work or anything whatsoever. He kind of took care of the heel shenanigan stuff on his own and kinda gave us a break from the torture, which I hope continues into the tournament. Yeah, that's all I got on that.
Yeah, I thought just I loved seeing Fujita, and again, like it took me like everything within me to not pick Fujita to win this tournament, being that it is only his second time. No, it's his first time in the tournament. So there's the chances of him winning are so small. But again, he gets a win right off the hop, and I'm like, did I pick right picking
Over
Drilla
a
Moloney?
veteran too.
Yeah,
This isn't Dragon Dia who's just coming in. This is an established veteran in this company, and the heel master Yoshinobu
yeah,
Kanemaru. So crazy.
yeah. This is a guy who's been around forever. I think he's got the most GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship reigns. I think because they
I
were talking
wouldn't.
about it. Because Chris Charlton was talking about it during one of Hayata's matches. That Hayata is a multiple time former GHC Junior Heavyweight Champion, and I
Mhm,
guess Kanemaru had multiple, or he's got the most amount of time with the title, or so
mhm,
he has a record there within the Junior Heavyweight division for the championship. So yeah,
mhm.
this guy's a true veteran, and Fujita beating him was huge. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I move on to the other part of House of Torture in this tournament. Just wasn't this match was I was considering this match for probably the first 2/3 of it, and then bullshit happened. It's Show versus Drilla Moloney. Um, what the fuck Show was wearing on his head when he came out? I don't understand. I don't know what that is.
You know what it is? I don't, it's, I know what it is. The real question is why it is. I mean, I also ask the same thing when Bushi comes out wearing his Native American style headdress, mind you.
Mm,
It was like one of those cow head things from the Wild Wild West. You know, when you see like a desert
mm-hmm.
expansion, you expect to see a certain handful of things, a lot of dirt, a cactus. What's the things that are rolling? Tumbleweeds.
Tumbleweeds.
Tumbleweed and a cow skull, and that's what that was, a cow skull. And
And
then he had
Chris,
a
Chris,
backpack torso. That was the worst part, the backpack torso.
yeah, that was weird. That backpack was weird. But yeah, at the end of the match, though, Show ends up taking Drilla to the press, like the press area on the wall, I guess is what Chris Charlton called it, and he smashes his face on the table. But then Drilla ends up flapjacking Show onto the table, and Drilla gets back to the ring. As Show comes back to the ring, he gets back at like 8 or 9, so not really late. But Gato comes out of nowhere, low blows Show, and I'm like, oh, this is going the other way with the cheating. Okay,
Mhm,
again. I'm like, cool little twist on it, right? But then
mhm.
Yujiro appears in the ring and low blows Drilla behind the ref's back. I'm like, oh come on. So Show gets in the ring, gets the wrench, hits Drilla with the wrench, and Show gets the win. Uh,
They did your boy dirty on this one, man.
they did like hardcore dirty.
Like, Drilla didn't deserve that.
No.
Nobody deserves that.
Mm-mm.
Show deserved to have a loss here.
Mm-hmm.
It just although, again, like you, I was invested for the first 2/3 of this match. Like,
Yep.
yeah, the both in the beginning there was that time, like, they were trying to attack each other with their titles.
Mm-hmm. So good.
I thought that was a little amusing. But, yeah, I don't have anything to add except for disappointment. I don't know if we can fit any more disappointment into that. Because yeah, Drilla deserved better than this,
Yeah.
but he played it off like a champ.
Especially being a champion too. He
I mean,
that's
Show is too, but, like
no, but to get screwed like that when you're the current junior tag champ, it's shitty.
and especially when you did the work to earn that championship, because let's be honest, Show probably wasn't going to be the junior champion right now if Yo hadn't pippity pop pip poopled his shoulder.
Yeah, it's very possible. So like, yeah, it's just very really weird situation. But
Hmm.
my boy's 0-1. I'm picking him to win. So
I mean, and what we were mentioning beforehand is there's always a Cinderella story in
mhm.
the NJPW tournaments where they start somebody off slow and then start a build. So, like, let's not get like too freaked out about it.
I agree. I'm not abandoning all hope, saying abandon ship.
No.
It's over. I'm not saying that, but it's like it doesn't give you confidence starting the tournament with the guys.
Oh, of course not. No. But I
Yeah.
have a faith in your 44 caliber. He's not even my pick.
So we move on to Mel's pick of the matches, but I'm gonna run through it, and then Mel's gonna give all her big highlights of this match.
Mm-hmm.
It is Clark Connors, the 100 proof Clark Connors versus all Greasy Heat, as I'm going to call him throughout this tournament, Blake Christian, because that mustache, that is just a greasy ass mustache right there. Holy moly, is that the way it's shaved, everything's just so greasy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fully agree. I will say it's not the best look coming in, as especially as a first time excursion, but mm, it could be so much worse, and we have seen so much worse.
I agree
Take us
with you
into the
there.
match.
So yeah,
Take us into the match.
the too sweet gun, and then Blake puts his hand in his pants and pulls out just like a finger gun and shoots at dude. It was, or instead it goes to shoot him, then just flips him off. It was just,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Um, I thought that
Yeah.
was hilarious.
It was.
Great head surge into the rope, and then the low 619 by Blake Christian hits that beautiful springboard attack to follow it up. Blake going for a backflip into something. Like he goes for a backflip to hit something, but Connors moves, hits the ropes, and Blake lands and just gets Jeep flipped the shit out of him. Like he just
Yeah.
sends them flying. They fight on the
Mhm.
floor. There's a handspring flip into like that handspring back elbow kind of flip into the ropes, and he comes back but lands in the wheelbarrow position, Blake Christian, and then he flips Connors over in the wheelbarrow position. It looked really cool. Then he went up to the
Mhm.
top and hit this really nice elbow off the top for two. You got a really cool. He went for the Fosbury fall off the floor, but doesn't really connect much. But then grabbed Connors and hit like third measurements of TJP's, like he grabs him and then spins and elbows him down to the mat. He did that on the floor to follow up
Mhm.
because he didn't quite catch the Fosbury flop. But yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, Connors takes Blake's head off with this beautiful lariat at one point, just in Blake Christian just goes spinning. It was crazy. There's a
Mhm.
beautiful kip up into a super kick by Blake. Just kip up, bang. It was so fast and so crisp.
Mhm.
Um, Blake hitting a Spanish fly to reverse a spear. And this is where his boot came apart.
Yeah, yeah, his boot was kinda like
Yeah. I hope, again, there's got to be gear people that he can get a boot from his boots fixed or new ones from somebody pretty quickly. I'm going to
Well, as
say.
we saw the next night, yeah, like on the
Yeah.
13th, it was fixed, yeah.
Yeah, Connors gets this crazy big spear, but Blake gets a foot on the rope at the last possible second.
Mhm.
Blake finish up. Blake has the belt, has a belt, but the ref takes it away. But he has brass knucks or something on, like around his
It was brass
knuckles,
knucks, yeah.
and then he ends up hitting Connors, and then hits this like rolling burning hammer is the best I can describe it. Like Mitch
Mhm.
Clark, and like if you're doing the outlook out Edmonton scene, Mitch Clark does it where he gets a guy on the shoulder and Death Valley Driver and just rolls to the side onto it. Blake Christian does it with a
Mhm.
guy facing the other way though, like he's facing up, and then he does that roll. And then he
Yeah.
follows it with this curves, like he steps onto the back, then takes the other foot and just stomps it into the back of the head, smashing into the mat, and he gets the win.
Mhm.
I see why you pick this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, not only was this just an incredible in-ring performance from both of these guys,
Mm-hmm.
but did you catch the weird ass psychology shit that was happening throughout the entire thing? It was weird for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the first thing I wanted to mention, what who is moonlighting as Clark Connors right now? That is not that is not 100 proof Clark Connors. He's being nice. he's being nice and suspiciously nice. Like, I'm kind of looking at him, like giving him bombastic side eye, going, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious." It's weird. We also are seeing a different look for him. We've been seeing him in black for the last year. He's in his silver leopard print again, and he was kind of like, again, playing to the crowd a little bit, not getting in their faces. We saw a face-ish turn for this. I'm going to assume for the tournament in this, from one of the people who I expected to be the most savage. And
Mhm.
we saw Blake Christian here, coming out cocky and everything. The crowd's like, "Yay!" And he's like, "No, you're supposed to boo me." And he spent a lot of the match trying to convince the crowd to boo him. Literally saying, like, "You're clapping, clapping. No, you're supposed to boo me." Yelling at them to boo him. It was really, really funny. Um, Blake Christensen's gear also, or Blake Christian. I don't worry
Mm.
about the extra sin. Blake Christian's gear gave me very much classic, like Shawn Michaels vibes. I
Oh,
kind of
so
lived
much.
for it. Yeah,
So
I lived for it. I loved it. It was a nice little sentimental throwback for me. Um, yeah, that Spanish Fly that you mentioned from Blake is so quick. He just out of nowhere. He's deceptively quick too, because he's not what I would say like a tiny guy, but I wouldn't also say he's big.
mm.
But he is very suspiciously quick for someone who's a little taller. Yeah, he hit the brass knuckles in his pants because I had an Yzma moment. You remember in The Emperor's New Groove where she was pulling up her dress and they're like, "No!" And it was a knife. And they're like, "Oh, okay." I guess that was the moment that I had when he like pulled out his waistband and started rummaging around in his pants. I was like, "No, don't Yano this shit on me. This was so good." And then he pulled out the brass knuckles and I was like, "Oh, okay. That probably smells disgusting, but okay, I could live with that."
If it smells
I was
disgusting, though, it probably makes it more effective.
I mean, clearly so, because picked up a win over the other half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion.
Yeah.
Just say, I mean, I don't really know that he has friends right now over in NJPW, but hypothetically speaking, if he gets Drilla Moloney into the US, Mr. Christian could be awaiting a tag team championship opportunity, being that the War Dogs can make it there. Yeah, I really, really liked this match, but again, like it was a little confusing, and that was why I liked it so much because it was just like suddenly some new characters that one of which I already thought was established, kind of showing me something new, but then the in-ring competition was just so solid and so fire. So
Mm.
good. So good.
So we move on. It is Taiji Ishimori versus Douki. And Robbie Eagles is on commentary at this point, and I have to make this comment that he said. He said, Eagle says, MySpace people are big fans of Douki.
Ouch, why did that hurt so
I
much?
know it really pained me when he said it. Like, I'm a fan of Douki. I'm not a MySpace person. It really hurt,
I
Robbie Eagles.
was. I
Yeah,
was.
I was, not anymore.
Is it even still a thing?
It's a website, but it's not what it was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
news to me.
the end of this match, they're trading holds, they're rolling around. They get into a Doki pin. Doki gets into the Doki choki, but as he goes to roll to reapply, Ishimori catches him, lifts him up, hits this beautiful bloody cross out of nowhere, and gets the win. I was like, oh damn, Ishimori
Yeah.
here to play.
Yeah, yeah. It was like the rest of the match was just him kind of mucking about, and something about the Doki Choki pissed him off. And he was just like, "No, end game. We're done.
Yeah,
Reset." Or Doki. Doki Choki. We got a
we got
Doki Choki.
we got a Doki choke.
And in an Australian accent, but not, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the
At
same.
least Eagles tried. He did
He did.
try.
He did try. He did try, and we appreciate the effort. I mean,
I really do.
it's better than like, I love Chris Charlton, but you British. You trying to do an Australian, no. It's
Yeah.
no bueno.
No bueno. No
Bueno.
bueno. So we move on to TJP versus Kevin Knight. Knight's gear, that orange and white, that white with
Mhm.
orange accenting, so good. In
Fits
the
right
end,
in with the MDK.
oh, he's Hantai though, isn't he? With Kushida though, right now.
I mean, he could be whatever he wants to be.
It makes me think of Kushida's WWE gear because he was wearing tights for a while in WWE, and it was white with orange on it at one point.
I
So
don't know.
yeah. In the end, though, Knight ends up hitting a Rana to TJP off the top rope and follows up with the pendulum DDT for Knight to get the win. I was like, what? I'd be like, no, they're pushing this guy. I feel like they want this guy to be a star for them.
Absolutely. I feel like he's one of the stars that El Presidente is going to want to focus on, especially leading the North American kind of strong brand.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very smart idea. Could you imagine Gabe Kidd versus Kevin Knight?
Mm. Mm.
Right?
Sounds
Right.
so good.
Um, Only thing I wanted to add to this was there was a really nice spike DDT by Knight on the apron. That was really, really,
Mm.
really good. Really
Yeah,
good.
that looked
Uh,
really good. TJP looking really good here, but I feel like the character is almost losing confidence every time he takes one of these big losses.
I would have to agree, and it kind of breaks my heart because I was hoping to see him really step up, especially after Cobb has won the TV title. But hey, again, there's always a Cinderella story. Is it
Yep.
going to be Drilla?
No,
Is it going to
it's
be
gonna be Drilla.
TJP?
Strilla.
You're just hoping that it's Drilla.
I don't know. It's Drilla. We move
Uh,
on. It's Hiromu Takahashi versus Kushida. Great match here. In the match go, Hiromu hits the pumping bomber and the Death Valley driver for two. Well, 2.5, as Chris Charlton said. Kushida gets the head scissors into the hoverboard lock. They're rolling around. He's keeping the hold on. Hiromu gets a roll up for two. But Kushida gets the hoverboard lock back on right away. And then he's twisting it. And then he steps over the head of Hiromu and just torques it in. And Hiromu taps out. And Kushida, after last year's kind of abysmal tournament, got the win.
Starting strong and making the ever popular Hiromu Takahashi question himself right out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, could be both a good thing and a bad thing because you just throw off the groove of the grooviest dude in the Super Junior locker room. You like my pun there?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Um, but it's true. You throw off his groove, you have there's really only two ways for him to go. He can either, wallow in the misery of it and have a crappy tournament, very similar to how Kushida had his tournament last year, or we keep seeing this decline, 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 and then suddenly he snaps and Roma's the Cinderella story. It could go both ways. So we'll have to wait and see what state of mind Hiromu is. I think it differs from hour to hour.
Yeah. Move on. Main event of night number one was Titan versus El Desperado. Lucha Technical versus Lucha Flying Submission guy. I loved it. This was a great match. Falcon
Mhm.
Arrow and the super kick by Titan. He goes to the top, hits the double jump off the top for two. He ties up the legs and goes for the Muda lock, and then transitions the arms into this like straight jacket choke, pulling back while he's upside down in the Muda lock. And El Desperado can't go anywhere. And he's forced to verbally submit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Teton actually calls his version of the Moodaluk Immortal.
Immortal. Okay, yeah.
Immortal. And
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I think it's because of Mortal Kombat, it triggers an Edema song for me called Immortal. And I love it. Um, but yeah, um, This was a fun match. I do really love the Lucha Libre inspiration. Teton starting off fire. I suspect that Immortal is going to be a winner for him in this tournament because where are you going? I mean, once he ties you up in the legs, you only have your arms to really go with, and if he traps your arms as well and chokes you out with them, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
How do you get out of that unless you have a size advantage, which you probably don't if you're in the Super Junior tournament? Ah, what a way to end the show.
Yeah, it was an absolutely wonderful first night of the tournament. Like nothing,
100%.
even Show's shitty win, the match he had up until the last couple minutes was still a really good match. So like I can't,
Agreed.
there's nothing bad on this show. Kanemaru, outside of trying Kushida a couple times, was just a perfect Yoshinobu Kanemaru match against Fujita or
Mhm.
Kosei
Oh,
Fujita.
yeah.
Yeah. So we move over to night number 2, May 13th. Before we get into this, Chris Charlton on the commentary with Callum Newman making his
Ah,
commentary debut. I thought he not the best guy that's been on there, but he's definitely far from the worst. He did a good job. I think he did a good job on
I
there.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought he did a very good job. He was very, very knowledgeable, very interesting, had some interesting insights to some of
Mhm.
the people, even had a little bit of some banter, some interactions with some people at ringside.
Yeah, he was really good for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like he's going to be the support for TJP and Francesco Akira being there on opposite
Mhm.
nights going forward. He'll be their tag. I feel like he's going to be their tag partners, their tag partner in the undercard tag matches.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that's where he's going to be there for that support as
Mhm.
their tag partner in the undercards. So
Wishes, wishes.
faux shizzle. Faux shizzle, Monizzle. But we're getting into it. Blake Christian, Kevin Knight. It's Mel's pick right off the bat. There seems to be a
Mhm.
little bit of a theme here with Blake Christian. She likes some greasy, eh? Um,
Okay. Come on now. You saw what we ate after we went to that party and we got McDonald's? Yes. And
yeah.
apparently so do you.
The again, Kevin Knight again. The gear that black with the blue accent on his gear looked fine. The guy looks so good,
He looked like ELP to me. It looked like he stole ELP's gear for that.
but it suited him. It
Cool.
suited him so well.
Yeah.
Um, Blake dodges and does the crotch chop, so Knight ends up tossing him to the floor, hits a plancha,
Mhm.
he gets him back in and hits a running frog splash for 2. Blake actually gets the Fosbury flop on this one. He lands it, but then follows up, picks him back up, and does that final cut thing again, like TJP does. He
Yeah.
did it. So it seems like he goes to Fosbury flop, then picks him up and does that on the floor. Just it seems like that's his
Oh, it
sequence.
was a Fosbury fly. I didn't know what to call it, so I just wrote down a tope con what the fuck.
No, when you go to the rope and then you go backwards over the top like that is
Yeah,
it's
you
and even
back
Chris
flip
Charlton
over,
said
yeah.
it, and Chris did say it is a Fosbury flop. Yeah,
I was making pancakes. I didn't hear him.
and then he actually stomps the hand of Knight on the floor too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're making pancakes and you didn't invite me. Oh, I'm hurt a little. Hurt a little. You didn't invite me for pancakes.
It was pretty late, sir.
So, um,
And you worked the next day. So yeah.
Um, he does that spot where he ties the legs up with his feet on the knees, and he does that
Mm,
stomp the knees into the mat, like Blake Christian did.
mhm,
Knight gets a sky high spine buster to Christian at one point. Blake hits his Uranagi into this inside out senton where he was hit the Uranagi, then he's facing away from him and does his front flip and then hits like a senton while front flipping in the
mhm,
opposite direction, lands on him, then goes to the top, but misses the stomp. It was just like, yeah, it was really cool. Just a really cool sequence. The end
mhm,
of it came though. Blake hits a stunner on the apron. Blake stops the pendulum DDT in the ring. He ends up kicking the rope into the crotch of Kevin Knight.
nasty, nasty.
Then he hits he hits that like step on the back and then curb stomp the head on the apron. Then hits a springboard 450 splash in the ring to get the win. This man keeps telling us not to cheer him, but he's other than the heel tendencies, he's doing all these moves that make you want to cheer him.
Right? And I was gonna say again that he struggled in this one because the crowd really wanted to cheer him. He's like, "No, boo!" And then you have Kevin Knight, again, very faciest face. He loves playing to the crowd, and the crowd loves playing to him. So it was like the crowd was very much a little confused, but eventually they caught on when Blake started doing more heelier stuff. Then they started booing him, and he immediately was like, "Yeah, that's what I want." It's really interesting to watch his character kind of developing over here, only on his second match too. Um, yeah, that Sky High by Night was so good. You know me with those spine busters though, or those back kind of droppy things. I just love the simplicity but effectability of them. Um, what else? That springboard 450 for the win was just so impressive. Everything about Blake is so impressive. Wasn't he part of the WWE NXT for a little bit?
Not as far as I know. I'm pretty sure he's been purely he was the GCW. He's been GCW forever.
Well,
I
I
could be
know he
wrong.
went there after. I feel there was because there was that exodus that kind of happened from Strong there. Remember where a bunch of people, including Alex Zane, ended up on NXT for a little bit, but it was only like a month or two before they were a Lego and they ended up on GCW.
Okay, yes, he was with WWE under the name Trey Baxter.
Bazinga.
I didn't. I must have missed that part of his career. That's for sure.
I mean, talking about fumble, fumble, fumble.
2021, he was there.
Yeah. See, I know some shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Fumble, fumble, fumble. It's so funny, interesting. Because like comes out of WWE. Look at the career he's had. But
Yep.
I was a fan of him before he went to WWE.
Mm.
However, what I will say that the experience with them and going to GCW has done for him is given him a lot more of a personality. His strong days, he was kind of he was this good, but like he was just a charisma vacuum.
Mm.
Now he's found his stride, he's found his niche. It's working out and it's gonna keep working out. I'm really enjoying this character. And I look forward to seeing it more.
Yeah, me. I think he's done tremendous since
Mhm,
going
mhm,
heel and doing just incredible work since he left WWE. Yeah, he only started
mhm.
in 2017, so this guy's only been in his career for about 7 years now and has done a lot. Like worked with GCW strong before the pandemic, and then went to WWE for a year. Has come back working. AEW, Ring of Honor, GCW. He's a current GCW heavy. He's a current GCW World Champion. So that's a huge, like I think it's a huge win for NJPW to have him here in this tournament.
100%.
So we move on to my pick of the show, which is the second match of the night. Was Francesco Akira versus Ninja Mack. I'm picking this because of one specific spot I need to highlight in this match. Not just because it was an incredible match. These guys just moved quickly. It had this just
Mhm.
tremendous match. Akira hits his beautiful drop kick to Ninja Mac after offering the handshake at the beginning. Just baits him in, drop
Rude.
kicks him, sends him to the floor. He hits the aggressive plancha. And then Akira hits the high cross back in the ring. A high aggressive plancha, just like Bill Ospreay. Um, Akira ends up catching Mack in the corner and gets him with a tarantula in the ropes. It was I was like, ooh, going back to his Tajiri roots.
Mhm.
Mack with strikes and a roundhouse because he's great, like mid strikes to the midsection, like these old palm strikes look really good. And ends up hitting the sweep and gets a running double stomp for two. Uh, Speed fire reverse, and Mack hits a tornado kick for two. And this is where Chris Charlton said, Ninja Mack used to work for Cirque du Soleil. Yeah. So I was flipping.
Yeah, based on the in-ring performance, I believe it.
Uh, Mack is caught up top. Akira hits the Rana, but Mack pulls off the Will Ospreay, just landing on his feet and just standing there like can't see his face, but it's just like that I landed on my feet. What are you gonna do? Superiority that
Mhm.
Osprey did to I think it was Ricochet way back in the day.
Yeah.
Or no, it's Kota Bushi.
No. Oh,
Kota Bushi.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think he
yeah.
might have he's done it a few times, but I think
But
he might have done it with both those guys.
the meme is the Ibushi one though. The meme that goes around is the Ibushi one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that spot happened, and it's Mack doing it to Osprey's protege.
Yeah, yeah.
That was kind of
Talk
cool.
about an FU, hey?
Yeah, Akira hits a Snapdragon, and then a super kick to a kneeling Ninja Mack for 2. Akira misses the fireball. Mack hits a knee to the head, hits the Shinroi or the sliced bread, but Akira pulls a backslide and then rolls through the backslide into speed fire for 2. Mack hits a super kick after the fireball attempt, hits another Shinrai, and then Mack to the top hits the Phoenix 630. Not just a Phoenix splash. This is a Phoenix 630 landing in the senton position. So rotating extra. And he gets the win. Mack is 2-0.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy cupcakes. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, starting off fast. And he has some really, really great talent. But he's in a very stacked division. Both of our picks are in Block B, aren't they? To take it, Drilla and Eagles, aren't they both in Block B?
Yeah, they're in the same block. Yeah.
Mm. Oh yeah, because yeah, first one
We're
was
coming up in 2 matches. It's coming up in 2
yeah.
matches. We're gonna have a quick chat about that.
It's gonna be great. Gonna
Yeah.
be great. I don't have a ton to add to this except for like this was just a fast, crazy match. This was like a high speed Azumi versus Starlight Kid kind of match. It was just go 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 go. By the time you like start to write down what you saw, 3 more things have already happened. Like
I was
it's
I was pausing constantly watching this.
it's very hard to take live notes for a match like this. There was a double stomp to the forehead that Mack did that I like that Stephanie Valquer also does, that little almost like a forehead wash kind of thing. I like it. It's just a simple, effective kind of a dick move to kind of pull off as like a little spot filler.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, the sliced bread was tremendous. Just how good he did it. So good. I love it.
Yeah. So we move on. It's Hayata versus Clark Connors. Connors, the end of the match comes. Connors stops a tornado DDT. After Hayata dodges Connors, Connors does hit the Jeep flip, then follows it up with the spear, but Hayata gets the shoulder up at 2.9. Hayata stops No Chaser and reverses into a pin, grabbing the tights, but only gets 2, hits the Enziguri. Hayata goes for that Shoyomi Shoyomi Impact DDT of his, but Connors reverses, picks him up, hits No Chaser for the win. At least one of the War Dogs in here can get a win.
So I have 2 points. 2 points here. The first being, we'll talk about the win. Clark Connors pinned a junior with a heavyweight title. That says a few things to me. Now, granted, as Chris Charlton mentioned many times, it is certainly under contention on the how Hayata was able to obtain that championship. It might have been a little scandalous. Might have been some feet on the ropes, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. My screen was out, as Kevin would say. But that the point still stands. Hayata is a heavyweight champion, and Clark Connors pinned a heavyweight champion. Just saying. I feel like Mr. Connors is kind of owed an invitation to meet Hayata again for that title. The second point I wanted to make is that in this match, the real victim was Sho Makato, who was was it suplexed? Body suplexed? Just suplex
He was
slammed.
slammed. I know he was slammed on.
Like,
Yeah.
just like a scoop body slam, I think, a couple times on each person. Connors picked him up, slammed him on Hayata. Hayata then picked him up, slammed him on Connors. It was glorious, glorious chaos. Again, Shomakato, the real victim and hero in this match, took it like a champ in front
Shomakato
of the
think,
new boys.
yeah, Shomakato thinking he's safe because there's no Suzuki, there's no Archer, but nope, you're never safe.
You're never safe when there's War Dogs and Hayata, apparently. Yeah, this was actually a really fun little match. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna
again,
talk.
though, real quick, sorry, go back. Connor's still acting facey.
Yeah.
He's
Again,
he's
he's
still
faced.
it's weird.
I think because he has faced two outside heels. That's the thing. With both Christian and Hayata both coming in as
Yeah,
strong, developed heels in their promotion, I think that's why he's had to play a facier person than normal.
I get that. But
Yeah.
he is a heel and an established heel in the heeliest heel faction in the company. We have a preconceived notion of who Clark Connors is based on the last year and a half. We kind of
Yeah.
like, for me, I kind of expect that. And I also know that Clark Connors is that damn good. He could figure out, if given an opportunity, a way to out heel the heels if he was given some free, I think, a little bit more free reign. So,
Yeah.
put trust in your heels, guys. Let him heal. Unless this is what he's doing and he's going to be stepping away from Bullet Club, but just right now, it kind of seems like he's kind of like, I don't know, stoned?
Yeah.
The
Nobody wants
stoner
that.
Bullet Club?
Nobody
I
wants
don't
him
want
out
him
of
to
Bullet
leave
Club.
either. I feel that he is one of the people establishing and really cementing the reputation of this generation of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah. Mhm.
We move on to. We're going to talk about it. Mel's pick versus my pick to win this whole thing. It looks
Mhm.
like he's like trying to punch Robbie Eagles in the face, and Robbie Eagles just like absorbing it with that. "Urgh."
It's hilarious because the two fingers are just sticking out the other side of his head.
Yeah. So, or he's trying to like he's like hitting him in the back of the head, and Robbie Eagles just like,
Schmack.
"Urgh." Yeah. We're not gonna go through this one saying, but like, by God, the chops in this match from both men were just solid. Drilla just working on the ribs of Robbie Eagles in this match, man. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was
Mhm.
like I don't know, these guys just absolutely beat the piss out of each other throughout. Yeah, there's a great roll with a rolling around on the mat after Eagles misses the 450. Drilla lifts him up into and hits a power bomb. He follows it this like running kick to the face for two. He goes for the Drilla killer, but Eagles gets this beautiful reversal and brings him down into the Ron Miller special. And Eagles gets a submission victory, and I just almost everything broke inside of me. I was like, no.
Was that when you sent me the message of I need to reconsider what my pickings were?
Yeah. My guy is 0
Uh,
and 2 on the first two nights, and your guy is 1 and 1, and I'm like, so
again,
Eagles beats him in every tiebreaker now, and I'm like, ah,
yeah, but Cinderella story. What happens if Drilla goes undefeated for the rest of the tournament now and Robbie picks up a couple wins? That'll outplace him, right?
yeah,
There's always going to be those Cinderella people.
mm-hmm.
And Drilla was kind of put a little bit on a pedestal before this tournament kind of started. And he's kind of been knocked off that pedestal. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I feel like it could be him that they decide to give that Cinderella push at the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
So don't lose faith in your 44 caliber.
No, I'm not losing faith in the guy. It's just I'm just frustrated, but I still have faith that
I feel
Joe
that.
Maloney can at least get in the second place position. I have him going in as the first
Yeah.
place position out of his block, but I have faith that this man can be the second place position.
Um, there was one point where they went outside of the ring and Drilla started smashing Robbie's face into the side of the wall, and they said it was like a rite of passage in that arena on commentary.
It it is.
So nice to see that the tradition is kept alive. R.I.P. Robbie's face. The way that Eagles just like picked Drilla out of the sky by his foot and just dropped him to the mat, set him up for that. Is it Ron Miller special?
Yeah, Miller special. Yeah.
Yeah, the way he just plucked him out of the sky and just sat him down. Come here, little boy. Let me tie you up. It was a little scary. It was so good. Yeah, and there was one point where Drilla also like just deadlifted Robbie up and yeeted him down onto the ground. Just incredible battle of strength and intelligence in this match. It was so good.
Yeah. It was just such a good, hard hitting, technical. Like Drilla wanted that Drilla killer. Like tried to go for like 8 times in this match. So yeah.
But then again, Robbie went for that Ron Miller hot number of times also. Just one of them was able to capitalize.
Yeah. And after all my praise of Yoshinobu Kanemaru on first night, let's screw him. This match sucked. It was 2 minutes. It was like just over 2 minutes. TJP gets attacked by. He sends Kanemaru out. He chases him out. As he comes back in, Kanemaru kicks the rope into his nuts. Kanemaru uses the ref as a shield. TJP hits the ref. TJP does come back with his springboard forearm and his Saluva kick. But as he does the latest watch, he's going for the run. Kanemaru takes a swing and hits the Santori's prize. Kanemaru ducks the blood mist, and he gets a victory roll on TJP for the roll-up in 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
I was not happy with this either because they did our boy dirty. I love TJP, but this was an unacceptable thing. Then it makes me wonder. Again, we have that Cinderella story that they love to do. Is it going to be Drilla? Is it going to be TJP? Because both of them pretty deserving right now.
Yeah,
man.
This match is disappointing me because like these two, both of the amount of experience both these men have, that could have had an amazing technical match, and this is what we got, and I was just blah. I don't think we need to talk about this anymore. I think we're good.
It was depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. Taiji Ishimori versus Dragon Dia, and what I thought was the high-speed match of the night. These two didn't stop. It was 4 minutes and 58 seconds, and it was literally a sprint. The end of it, Dragon Dia reverses the powerbomb, but gets sunset flipped. Ishimori runs Dia into the ref, then hits a pop-up low, or kicking low blow, then hits Bloody Cross for the win. Ishimori 2-0. He's doing great.
Yes. Yeah. I love Dia coming in on the skateboard. It's unfortunate that it became a problem for him in this one, since Ishimori used that as a nice little smacky smack at one point in the match. Last thing I wanted to mention about this one, Kenta Sato really took a beating in this match. Like, he got his butt beat. I hope that man gets a raise. He did very, very well.
Yeah. Again, I thought really quick, good match.
I agree.
Yeah. It is the Battle of LIJ. It's the tag team going at it. Bushi versus Titan. Or Teton, sorry. Bushi versus Teton. Because again, my computer doesn't have the little accent over the A, so it always messes me up. Bushi versus Teton. The end of this again, it is almost exactly the same as Teton's win on night number 1 against El Desperado. He hit the Falcon Arrow, follows it up with a super kick to kneeling Bushi. He does that backwards roll up to the top rope, hits the double stomp for 2. He then gets the Muda lock on, then transitions the headlock into the stranglehold, and Bushi is forced to verbally submit. Yeah, it's literally beat for beat the same finish as the El Desperado match, but it was a really good match watching these two fly around at each other.
And it was called the?
I don't remember.
Immortal.
Yeah, Immortal.
And I don't know if you heard Bushi's new submission that he's been doing there with the knee lock. I believe it's
Mhm.
called Fable.
Fable. Ooh.
Yeah, I got some really cool, fun names coming out of these fun little moves. Uh, there was that one point where Teton was diving off the entrance way, very similar to how Akira did in the battle against the War Dogs, and I'm fairly certain somebody did it I think it was Teton did it last year against Watto, I believe in the
Mhm.
finals. So yeah, it was a nice little homage. I think it was the finals. I know Hiromu
January.
was running over there like yeah, in his Hiromu way.
Oh,
The
Hiromu. Uh,
freaking Hiromu. The chops from Bushi they're just so loud. They clap so good. But yeah, I really, really like that Immortal.
yeah.
It's such a very fun thing, and it really shows off the flexibility of Teton. That sometimes he like over flexes and has to adjust himself before grabbing onto the hands, trying to
Yep.
lock in that choke. Yeah, fun match. Very fun match, especially the two regularly masked people.
Yeah. So we move on to Kushida versus Sho. Um, in the end of this match, Sho gets the wrench, but the ref sees it and tries to take it from him. Yujiro attacks, but Kushida ends up like just punching him in the face. Then Sho comes over, hits the low blow. He goes for shock arrow, but Kushida gets out and then flips him over into a jackknife cover and gets the win to go 2-0. So then Sho and Yujiro attack him after the match, but Kevin Knight makes a save. And then Chris Charlton had the best thing talking about this post match is that telling it's like the story of Kushida. He wasn't even invited to this tournament originally because he had such a poor performance last year. He wasn't even supposed to be here. He didn't make the cut, but due to injuries, he did get brought in for this tournament, and he now has wins over the four-time champion of this tournament and the current junior champion in Sho. That is a redemption arc like you wouldn't believe for Kushida here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what an interesting story to be telling. But man, this match,
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans all over the damn place. He's not
Yeah.
happy with this. I will
No.
say though, I do like Show's new hair color. Um, though I do find it a little kind of amusing because it's the same color purple that I usually have as someone who has that color, who still has that color. It runs and it runs very easily with any kind of moisture. So it amused me at some points of the match where Show's hair would flip up and I'd see purple staining just going down his forehead. At
Yeah.
first, I was like, is he wearing makeup? And then I kind of realized, oh no, that's hair dye. I'm sorry for laughing at it because it's a real struggle. But at the same time, you know it's gonna run. What are you
Like
doing?
until it's been there for a while and really set in, it tends to run for the first while, especially.
The last time I dyed mine was October. To put that into perspective, it's May now, and it still runs.
Oh wow. I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, it's a dye, right? It's leaching out perpetually.
It's true. So we move on to what was going my other choice for pick. I think this to me, like I picked Ninja Mack versus Akira because I just love the way those two work together so well. This probably
Mhm,
was the best match on the show in like if you go by pure in ring for me it was this match. But I just love the way Akira and Mack work together. It's El
mhm,
Desperado versus Kosei Fujita, and this is like Fujita kind of like almost graduating here because he was like working
mhm,
like Zack Sabre Jr. throughout the match. There's one point where he got a sleeper hold on towards the end of the match on Desperado, and then just turns the sleeper and just, like has him like pulled back in the sleeper, then just grabs the waist and Germans the shit out of him. So good,
mhm.
yeah.
So
But
good.
in the end, Desperado rolls out of a submission attempt by Kosei Fujita because he was getting a couple and he was changing that every 6 seconds. But when he changed,
Mhm,
that's where Desperado's veteran ability popped in, and he got him into numero dos, and then he steps over the arm and head, and Kosei Fujita can't go anywhere, so he's forced to tap out. I was disappointed, but it was like that was such a good match. It was so good. It hurt my heart a little because I'm such a Fujita fan, but like, such a phenomenal.
But what a
match.
ride! What a show!
Mhm.
And like Desperado, he's kind of been quiet, like for how good he is, and the history that he has in this company. He's been a little quiet since the what's the word, dissolution of Strong Style and Rita popping over to House of Torture. He's kind of, and Suzuki kind of going off and doing his thing. They kind of left behind Desperado, and he's kind of been struggling to kind of find his place. I feel like this was a bit of a redemption for him, also a little show off, but also a show off against somebody who he knew would be able to elevate him as much as he could elevate the opponent and himself. This was a great match. I really enjoyed this.
Oh,
I feel
absolutely
Desperado.
tremendous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I lost it. It's fine.
I apologize. I was just going to say absolutely tremendous. I was just playing up on. I thought you were done. I was going to say absolutely tremendous match. Like this might. I think I'm going to put this on my list for in my top junior matches of the year so far for our Chop Talk at the start of 2024 or 2025, giving out our best of 2024 awards. So stay tuned in January of next year for that. And then the final.
A few months away.
Yeah. The final match, because there's still so much more to go. Hiromu Takahashi versus Douki. This, again, is another one that was just, from start to finish, so good. Both men just showing everything they can do here. In the end, though, Douki does get the Douki Choki on. He repositions. Hiromu tries to go for a suplex, but Douki pulls the Douki Choki again, and Hiromu hangs on. He tries to pick him up and slam him down to break it, but Douki just puts it in tighter. Eventually, Hiromu just falls to the mat. He goes out. The ref calls for the bell, and Douki gets the win. So is that 2 wins over Hiromu Takahashi that he has now this year? Because he won in that Just 5 Guys versus LAJ thing, and then he wins here. Man, one of us should have picked this guy to win it. We should have, but Jesus.
I mean, when it came down to it, it was my head and my heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was one of them. I made the choice at Robbie Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sticking with my choice, though. I feel like this is a good opportunity for them to really push TMDK a little bit, especially after that shit that went down at Resurgence.
We'll talk about that in a couple days. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be covering that in a couple days here. Yeah.
Wootenanny. Yeah. Doki Choki. Doki Choki. That's all I got to say about that. I'm just happy. Doki Choki. And win with the Doki Choki.
Did you hear Colin Newman say Doki Choki? And he just went
so funny.
And he didn't even try to go gravelly with it. He just went Doki Choki. Like he didn't even go gravel. He didn't even try the graveliness.
He was excited, yeah.
He didn't even try the graveliness of it.
I'm
like, I respect you for that, sir.
I mean, he's already got the British accent too, right? It would have sounded just as silly as Kevin or Chris Charlton saying it.
Yeah.
Doki Choki.
Doki Choki. But we have come to the end of it. We've come to an end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or on our YouTube page in the comments at youtube.com/@Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can hear us in audio form over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com. Check out their RSS feed. You can get us all the a bunch of the shows they have there for free, including our shows over there for free. Or if you want to support them for some exclusive content, you get some entered into some stuff that they do. Patreon.com/SNME radio for only $4 American per month. You get some great stuff there. Support them, great team. They're friends of ours. They're helping us getting our message out there to the world about our love for professional wrestling. So support them. Please support our friends over at twitch.tv/our local establishment or youtube.com/at our local establishment. Our friends over at OLE, we love them to death. We love those guys. As this comes out on Wednesday night, I will be over there doing Marvel talk with my boy Oled, my alternate tag team partner when Mel's not available. We're going to talk X-Men's final 3 episodes. Tolerance is Extinction. Episodes parts 1, 2, and 3. I am so excited to wake up tomorrow morning and watch the final episode of X-Men 97 Season 1. I cannot wait. So check those out. 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over there. You can check us out on Marvel Talk. And it will be up on the YouTube afterwards for everybody to watch. I want to also thank our boy Mike the Ref over at Backbreaker Video for simulcasting all of our stuff. All the other great content he has is AEW watch alongs there. If you want to watch AEW live with him, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where you can find him doing the AEW watch alongs every Wednesday, every Saturday, and every AEW pay-per-view Sunday. You can also find all the gaming content he does every other day of the week, and even some of gaming on those same nights as wrestling. You can check all that out, twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. Or if you want replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules right up there, and the awesome, the wonderful Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J.
We love Kayla J here.
Mm-hmm. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's program, A Japanese Wrestling Update, with this guy every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not. And then we will let you know on the social media what's going on with that. Sometimes they are live, sometimes they are pre-recorded, depending on if we are available, because lots of wrestling locally happens on Fridays. So stay tuned to our socials to see whenever that is coming out. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We've got a couple guests that we want to have on very soon, so stay tuned to our socials to hear when we are doing those bad boys. Yes, among other people. Got a couple people in line waiting to be on there and talk about some ladies wrestling. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box down below. It is njpwworld.com. It's 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean's Beers. It's more like 750, according to this girl. But still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. And if you want a little taster of what you can get on there, check out the NJPW World TV Title Championship matches, which are all free.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you for all the support. If you're listening on Sunday's Main Event, thank you so much. If you aren't, please check them out, SundaysMainEvent.com or Patreon.com/SNME Radio for the Heroes in audio form and all the other great content over there. And thank y'all for all y'all watching on YouTube, whether it's Andre Melball Talk, whether it's Backbreaker Video. Thank you so very much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Share us out to all your friends, family, and creepy little weirdos that exist in your basement. And don't forget to share or to hit the notification bell so you can alert every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Hey, I'm one of those little weirdos in the basement right now. I'll tell you that right now.
No comment. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.